The secret before the choice. They say hindsight is 20/20, but what if you could access that clarity before you make a move? What if the answer you're seeking isn't hidden in logic, or in predictions, or in someone else's advice, but is already whispering inside you? For centuries, intuition was dismissed as a feeling, an impulse, a guess. But the truth is older than any science. There is a knowing in you that comes long before thought, a quiet intelligence that guides you through life's uncertainty without ever raising its voice. This video is not about choosing correctly. It is about choosing truthfully, about understanding the force that turns every crossroads from a place of fear into a place of power. Welcome to the Labyrinth of Choice. Let's walk in. Modern life gives you endless options, but endless options don't create freedom. They create paralysis. 2 decades ago, choices were simpler. Life moved slower. The paths in front of you were fewer, clearer, more grounded. Today you're faced with 100 versions of what used to be a single decision. Career paths, relationships, diets, identities, cities to live in, ways to work, ways to love, ways to be productive, routines, philosophies, timelines. Every direction comes with its own logic, its own promise, its own risk. You stand at a crossroads, and suddenly the mind begins its endless loop. What if I regret it? What if I choose wrong? What if the other path is better? What if I fail? What if everyone else knows something I don't? The more you think, the deeper you sink. What used to be clarity turns into a maze of overthinking. Analysis, once a tool, becomes a cage with invisible bars. Your thoughts multiply possibilities until every choice feels dangerous, every step loaded with imaginary consequences. You're not weak, you're overwhelmed. Because the human mind was designed for a world with a few doors, not for a world where every hallway branches into 1,000 more. Your nervous system is still ancient, but your choices are modern. And that mismatch is why the simplest decision can feel like standing at the edge of a cliff. The external noise that pulls you off your path. And then the noise arrives. Not sharp, but thin, constant, sticky. The noise of opinions, the noise of expectations, the noise of other people's voices that somehow sound more confident than your own. Everyone seems to think they know how you should live. Friends project their regrets. They advise you not because they see your path, but because they're afraid you will repeat their mistakes. Family projects their fears. They don't want you to fall, and so they lead you away from every road where risk exists, even if that road is where your life actually is. Strangers project their opinions as if they're handing out universal solutions for worlds they've never seen from the inside. Social media projects perfection, a glossy shadow of reality that doesn't exist for anyone, not even for those who display it. And all of this sounds like the world whispering to you, take this job, don't risk it, be more careful, move faster, don't fall behind, do what everyone does, don't complicate things. The louder all of this sounds around you, the quieter your own voice becomes. It doesn't disappear, it just sinks beneath the weight of 1,000 foreign thoughts. Here lies the trap. The more you listen outward, the less you hear inward. You don't lose your intuition, you simply stop noticing it. Over time, the noise becomes so familiar that silence starts to feel strange, uncomfortable, unfamiliar. And one day you realize you no longer remember how your own clarity sounds. What intuition actually is. Most people misunderstand intuition. They think it's an emotion, a whim, an impulse, something irrational, chaotic, unreliable. But intuition is not an emotion. It's recognition. That inner response that arises before thought, before analysis, before words. Intuition is the moment when your mind, your body, your experience, your nervous system, and your entire lived life work together faster than you can think. It is your inner GPS, not loud, not intrusive, not demanding, but a subtle signal that cuts through the fog of doubt and reveals the path that aligns with your truth. Intuition doesn't speak in words, it speaks in states. Sensations in the body, a gentle expansion or contraction inside, warmth or a cold shiver you can't mistake, a subtle inner pull, sudden clarity, a soft, peaceful yes, or a firm, unmistakable no. Intuition doesn't argue, it doesn't prove, it doesn't persuade. Its power is in its silence, in that primal truth that needs no explanation. It simply knows. And it always knows long before the mind has time to manufacture arguments. Signs, you're ignoring your intuition. Remember the feeling you get when your intuition speaks to you. It's impossible to miss. And remember the feeling you get in the very moment you choose to ignore it. Intuition is always signaling. It never disappears. It simply starts speaking more quietly when you turn away from it. And then your body, your emotions, your inner rhythm begin whispering on its behalf. Here are the signs that warn you you're drifting away from your truth. A decision feels heavy. Even if it makes sense logically, inside you feel a dull weight, as if something is pressing down on your chest. You keep asking for advice, not because you don't understand, but because you want someone else to choose for you. You look for external permission when deep down, you already know the answer. Your body contracts. A subtle tension in the chest, a knot in the stomach, a pause in your breath. These are the first markers that your inner truth disagrees with the direction you're taking. You delay, hesitate, get stuck. Procrastination is not laziness. Procrastination is the soul resisting a path that is not its own. Everything looks right, but something feels wrong. Your mind understands what is expected, but inside, there's a subtle sense of foreignness, as if life is gently pushing you away from the path you're trying to force. Ignoring your intuition always creates friction in the body, in the heart, in your life. Things start to stall. Relationships, energy, purpose. But following your intuition creates alignment. It doesn't feel like euphoria. It feels like relief, rightness, a deep settling inside. Alignment feels like peace, lightness, relief, clarity, an inner click, a gentle pull forward. Intuition always speaks. It doesn't stay silent even for a second. The real question is not, is it speaking? The real question is, am I listening? How intuition cuts through the labyrinth. Imagine a labyrinth, twisting, confusing, full of paths that look identical. Your mind walks it step by step, analyzing every turn. But intuition rises above the walls. It sees the entire map, not in detail, but in direction. It doesn't tell you every step. It tells you the next step, the one that matters, the one that keeps you aligned. Intuition doesn't care about perfection. It cares about truth. It doesn't show you the whole journey. It shows you the door you're meant to open now. That's why intuition feels like a whisper, a single candle in a dark corridor. But that candle always points forward. You don't have to develop intuition. You already have it. You were born with it. What you need is to clear the static. Here's how. 1. Create silence. Even 30 seconds of stillness can make intuition audible. 2. Feel your body. Intuition speaks through sensation, not sentences. 3. Ask one gentle question. Which direction feels lighter? 4. Watch the first instinct that appears. The first micro-shift, that's intuition. 5. Observe without forcing. Intuition guides. It never pushes. 6. Trust the subtlety. Intuition is soft because it doesn't need volume to be true. Do this, and the labyrinth starts rearranging itself. You stop forcing decisions and start recognizing them. Intuition shines brightest when you finally stop trying to calculate life and begin allowing life to reveal itself. It shines when logic has exhausted itself, and yet something inside remains certain. It shines when a choice feels right, for reasons you cannot explain, but deeply understand. Intuition is the bridge between your present self and the future you're becoming. And when you follow it, your path stops feeling random and starts feeling guided. The labyrinth of choice isn't outside you, it's inside you. Your mind analyzes, your intuition recognizes, your mind calculates, your intuition knows. And the moment you stop seeking answers outward and return your gaze inward, the labyrinth dissolves. The path appears. Not because you figured it out, but because you finally listened. Your intuition is not a whisper. It's your inner light. Let it guide you.